Hi, you guys. It's Gwen here, or Wendy. Either one works for me. Both of them are my names, so. In any case, today I'm going to start a tutorial series about the doll hanging device that I have. I guess it would be called like a wall. I don't know what it's called. Dolly closet? Wall hung dolly closet? We got to think of a name for that thing. Anyway, it's the board that I have with all of the baby fashions on it. The dolly baby fashions. And let's call it a couture, tiny couture display board. That's it. Anyway, I'm gonna make that today. I had that board in there is 2 feet by 4 feet because it fit the space. And I have another space, and I want to make a board just for petticoats. So this is another board that I got. I had it cut at Home Depot or something, and then just kept it aside. Anyway, board for this project. The board, rattle can of your color of your choice, or you can use paint. On the other ones I use paint, but I'm going to try to rattle can it. You know, sanding block, sandpaper, sand device, and then gloves, protective, goggles, protective. I can't wear a mask. It gives me asthma. It's just a mess. Anyway, wear a mask if you are doing this because, you know, sawdust and junk. And I got protective outerwear. Anyway, I'm going to put this on high speed now so you can, well, sort of watch along, and then I'll put more directions down below. But basically, this is how it goes. I'm going to sand this little board, and then I am going to spray the little board with the color. And that's the beginning of this tutorial. Hey y'all, okay, you saw the high speed. It's so super simple. You just sand it, then you paint it. When the paint is dry, then we'll drill holes in it, but that's not gonna be today because I wanna wait until it dries. So here it is. Look, see? It's gonna be cute. Can't wait. And I need it. I've been needing to do this for so long. Anyway, okay, bye. Hey y'all, I'm back. We're gonna finish up this project and I'm super excited about it. Okay, so the other day I got the board and we painted the board. This is what it looks like now. It's all dry. And, you know, it doesn't have to be perfect because, well, you're going to cover it up with cute, tiny couture. And so anyway, this is our board. And notice it's very small. It's just 1 foot by 2 feet because it's going in a small spot. So now some materials you'll want are, I'm terrible at, actually I'm not terrible with math. If a shoe's on sale and if shoes are on sale and it says 25% off, oh, I can do that mental math, no problem. But in terms of measuring, I always need a guide. I can never eyeball it properly because it comes out all wonky. I love a T-square for this project because it's kind of laid out for you. And I'll show you how to do that in just a second. But then we've got a drill with your bit. Then we've got our twine, and this is what we're going to hang the clothes on with our special little hangers. Scissors to cut the twine, and then also pencil. Okay, here's my board, and all I'm going to do is just lay this out and mark the initial dots. So right here in the corner, there's already a very convenient dot where I can measure or where I can put my little pencil mark. So we're gonna do this here like this. And then we're gonna flip it over, the T-square, and we're just gonna draw that exact same little dot, make sure it's all squared up. And I'm gonna do it exactly the same right here. Now what I'm going to do is move this aside, and I'm going to measure, why using the petticoats, of course, because this is what's going to be stored here. I'm always going to overlap because, you know, they're going to overlap on the board anyway. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. Cosette's closet. Adorable. And of course, Janet. So now we know this is going to be your measurement. So this is where your next line is going to be. Your next line is where you're going to measure from these dots to these dots. Now, just for a measuring tool, now I think it's okay if the string is underneath and there's a little bit of overlap. In fact, I think it looks cool. So I'm definitely going to do that. But, well, let's just get to it. Maybe. Okay, I'm going to get to marking. So here's the end of this cute Chew Things petticoat. And I'm marking it so that I know where I can go at the end of this petticoat. But I'm going to move my dot up just a wee bit because, as I mentioned, I want there to be just a little bit of overlap. This one is Miss Malupica. It's a little bit longer. This is Cosette, and this is Janet FT. This one is, of course, the most voluminous, but it doesn't mean it's the longest. So I want to make sure there's a little uniformity. That's why I put my little measure mark so that I can make sure that I'm measuring it just right. I'm going to put it on high speed just for this measurement bit. And then you'll see. Yeah. You know, this is a harder tutorial than I had anticipated. In any case, I forgot to mention, measure with the T-square where your initial dot is. I think you can kind of see it here. But here is my mark where the petticoats go. So what I'm going to do, as I mentioned, is move it up just about 1/4 of an inch. Just about 1/4 of an inch. And this will be where my next line is. Now what I'm going to do is move my T-square down to where it matches that little marker. And now I'm going to add another little dot. Whoops. And again on this side. Oh, I did it wrong. Darn it. My mistake. That's okay. I'll just go like this. Because of course you want them all uniform, so you have to make sure you're using the correct part of the T-square. So, but that's okay if you make a mistake. I mean, big deal. It's pencil. First of all, you can erase it, but also, I mean, it's going to be covered with cute stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just a way for us to store stuff. In fact, La Dolly Dispatch, their newest episode is all about storage stuff. And of course, it's always a challenge for all of us because we have tiny stuff everywhere, you know? So, okay, here is this, and here is our initial dot. Here is our subsequent dot. And we're just going to do that all the way down the board. Now, okay, y'all, all of my dots are drawn. Can you see? See where the dots are drawn? You can kind of see where I've put them. And that's all measured with the T-square and everything. Now's the fun part. So now you're just going to drill your holes. So let's do that. I'm going to do that on high speed also. Be careful if you're doing this on a wood table because, well, you don't want to drill the table. And I am doing it on a wood table, so I'm going to have to be careful. If you have a drill around, this is going to be your buddy. If you don't have a drill around, you can go and buy one. They're rechargeable and they're not super expensive. I mean, they're not as much as some of our dolly clothes. So it's kind of a good investment because you can use it for lots of other things. In any case, here we have the board. It's all the holes are drilled. We're ready to go. I am gonna string this now. I think I could have done this a lot better, but I'm just doing the best I can. So I hope you can follow along. That's all I want. I just want you to be able to learn something from this because maybe it'll help you organize your own doll stuff. In any case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 rows. I cut 9 pieces of hemp string to fit in those 9 holes. If you see stuff like this, it's not going to make your board look pretty on the parts that might show. So I'd definitely throw that away and instead cut another. So we've got one more to cut here, and we'll do that. And do that. And then what I've done is I've strung it through the board like so. And then we're going to do this, make it as taut as possible. There are a couple ways you can do in back. You can tie it together like this, or what I have found is that it gets tighter if I tie a knot on this side, a knot here, and then a separate knot here instead of tying them together. But it's personal preference, and I've done it both ways. It's just that this is the way that I like to do it better. Yeah, okay. All right, y'all. I've done them all except for one. And the reason I've done them all except one because I want to show you how to do it so that they are taut. Because you want them as taut as possible so the heavy weight of all the lace and ruffles don't pull them off the board. And I mean, because at the end of the day, it's not just something cute on your wall. It's like super useful. And we're a bunch of dolly crazy people that need ways to store dolly stuff. And so this is the best way that I've found. In any case, I'm rambling now. That was hard work, by the way. This is a little project that'll take you a couple days. Also, I got another tool, which are my needle nose pliers, and it's because I want the holes small enough where a knot won't come through, but I want them big enough that the hemp string will go into. And so that was a little bit tricky because, you know, the hemp twine isn't like tightly wound or anything, but I do think that it's the best to store these things with. Okay, so I'm going to put this back down, and in regular time, not quick time, high speed, I'm going to tie one of these with you so that you can kind of get a handle on technique. Because this is actually probably something that I would struggle with if I didn't invent this. But, okay, so I just put it as close to the little hole as possible, and then I'll pull it tight. But I like to double knot it because then it really ensures a secure fit. So I pull it back out just a wee bit, not too much, because otherwise it'll make 2 knots and you just want one big knot. And then we go around that bottom knot, that initial knot, and then we pull it taut again here. Now we've got one big strong knot. On the other side, I'm going to pull it as hard as I can. See, it kind of moved a little bit here. And then I'm going to do the exact same thing over here as I did on that side. And then do this and pull it again like this. There we go. And then I just snip off the excess. Nice. So, let's take a look. Already, this is a completed board. This is what it'll look like I mean, obviously yours might not be blue. It could be black or pink or rainbow or whatever. In any case, it's one of my favorite things in terms of my doll collection. I do consider myself, I mean, a fashion maven for plastic. Anyway, thanks for watching, y'all. I hope you enjoyed. Bye. Okay, you guys, what do you think? Pretty good, right? Super functional, very useful. All right, y'all, I forgot something kind of vital, actually. And that is, how are you gonna hang this, right? So right now, this is the back of the board. You can see all the knots that we tied so that we can hang our little clothes or petticoats or whatever you're gonna hang there. But I'm gonna screw these to the back. Can you see this? I'm gonna screw those to the back. And then in between, just like hanging a picture, I'm gonna use coated wire. Yeah, I made the hanging device, and here it is. Can you see it? So I just put 2 little eyelets here, and then I used that plastic coated wire, and I'll hang it from the wall like that. And then I'll show you what it looks like when I hang it. Okay. There it is. It's all hung up. And I'm so happy that I have more room now. I'm also going to add neck muffs by Miss Malupka on there, and probably pennies also. And then that'll leave me plenty more room to fill that thing up.